You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Teri, an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Teri is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl. Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, and I am thrilled to have Ayushi Kumari in Australia joining me today. It's morning over there, not out here in the US though. It's Sunday night out here. Ayushi is a true multitasker with a full-time job at Adobe and she follows her true passion by being a fashion and travel enthusiast who is building her brand Sydneyfashionlife. But having collaborated with Michael Kors and Chloe, among others, and with almost 100,000 followers, all organic, we'd say she's off to a stellar start. So I'd like to welcome Ayushi today.
Thank you so much, Teri, for having me here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We are so thrilled. So I just want to start off by letting you talk a little bit more about yourself to our listeners, as my introduction was brief. So what brought you, as you were born in India, at what age did you decide to move to Australia?
So it was not more of an age, but it was more of a marriage kind of a thing for me. So my husband is an Australian citizen and he was in Australia. But when I married to him, that's the reason for me to move from India to Australia 4 years back.
4 years ago?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And what part of India did you move from?
So I moved from the north of India. There's a small place actually called Ranchi and the state is Jharkhand. So I hail from there, but I used to work at Adobe India in the Bangalore office. And then after marriage, finally came to Sydney.
So why did you decide to even, not sleep and create this brand, this incredible fashion and travel brand, Sydneyfashionlife? Like what made you follow that type of passion after having a full-time job?
Yeah, so you know what, Teri, it just happened. I never planned for it, trust me. So what happened was that when I came to Australia after marriage, I was on visitor visa, which means I couldn't work. So I was at home and I'm a person who cannot be silent. I need to do something, otherwise I'll go mad. So that's how, yeah, really. And when in India, people used to praise me for my fashion sense. And then when I came to Sydney and when I was on visitor visa where I couldn't work, I just used to take a stroll at the shopping malls here. And then girls used to praise me, oh, wow, I love your dressing sense and things like that. So one day I realized when Instagram was not that trending at that point of time, although it was, then I thought, okay, let me put in some random pictures of me with different dresses, etc. And then I just posted and the type of comment and the engagement that I started receiving, I thought, okay, maybe I can do something about it. And then for the first 3 months, I was super active. And then after 3 months, when I got my job right sorted, it was a full-time job with a part-time gig kind of a thing, like a side hustle for me.
Okay. Wow. You have collaborated with extreme array of designers, and some of them are American. Michael Kors is American,
right.
Chloe, among so many others. You've also been published in Vogue Australia
Right.
for your top street style. So talk to me about how these collaborations started.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, when you start posting on Instagram and the type of engagement that you start receiving and the type of hashtags that I use to, increase my exposure, that's how perhaps the brands start initially noticing you. And then they start approaching you that, this is our brand. Do you want to really collaborate with us? But to be very honest with you, it didn't start in overnight, right? So essentially, I used to get collaborations from brands which you wouldn't even know about, right? But those were like my babies, because they were very important or stepping stone for me to reach to a level for Michael Kors or, Tommy Hilfiger or things like that. So every brand collaboration has been my baby and has been a stepping stone towards where I am today.
And you are very careful with who you collaborate with.
That's correct. And you have to be, because you need to believe in the brand, right? Because if you don't believe in the brand, today or maybe 2 days or after a month, your followers are definitely going to know that, oh, she does it for a paid partnership or she does it for money, right? So you need to really trust the genuinity of the brand so that you collaborate with it and so that your followers kind of relate to it. So everyone has different set of followers. Like mine is more of fashion related or travel related. So I do more of the content which resonates with them. If I randomly put in someday of a picture of me, say for example, in a bikini, which I usually don't do, so that wouldn't relate a lot with my audiences because they are with me because of my content. So my content should actually speak to them.
Yes, your content is impeccable. I mean,
Thank you.
your website, we will talk about that near the end of the interview, but how beautiful and how well done that is and how easy it is to follow and navigate. Speaking of your beautiful website, I'd love to talk about the travel section of your website, because at Stellar Girl, we talk about not only Stellar Girl style, Stellar Girl shine, which is our beauty. We have a lot about Stellar Girl sites. And so you recently featured a Ratua private island, and there's a spectacular picture of you on with a horse. It's just incredible in the water. So how did that collaboration happen?
So essentially, we were traveling to a Pacific island called Vanuatu, where this Ratua private island is. So when we were traveling there, I saw this particular property, the Ratua private island. Trust me, it's heaven. It's heaven. So I actually went and approached the brand that, I really want to create content for you guys because I'm traveling to Vanuatu and I don't want to miss that opportunity. And touch wood, that happened. So they invited me and my husband, and we stayed there, and it is, trust me, if you haven't seen heaven, that's heaven.
That's
so
heaven. Oh.
Yeah, seriously, it's so beautiful. And I think perhaps that was one of the best travel that I had till date. And the horse thing, to your question, how that happened is one of the staff had actually taken the same shot with the horse where, he's kind of raising his hair with the wet water. And I just said, I need to do this because especially of my long hair, right? So I thought, I need to flaunt my long hair. And that's how, I kind of did that shot, and it came out very well. And thank goodness, because of my husband, he's also into full-time job, but then as a part-time, he does professional photography. So that's why we pair quite well. And he took that picture for me.
Well, your pictures are great. So kudos to him. Absolutely. So I've been to Australia. I've been to Brisbane, Sydney, to Cairns, because we drove the Great Barrier Reef.
Right.
Yes. So it's a beautiful, beautiful country. I have yet to get to New Zealand, but I will definitely put Ratua Island on my list because
you need to. Yeah.
I absolutely will. So we talk about having a stellar mindset, and here at Stellar Girl, we say, Stellar Girl is a mindset. It's an attitude. It's having grit, courage, that kind of gumption just to keep going and keep going. So is there anyone in your life in particular that has influenced you to really rise up, to champion, and you feel very supported by?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So I think, yes, as you said, Teri, very correctly, it's just a mindset. And the mantra for me, and I'm not just saying for the sake of saying, the mantra for me, be it in my full-time IT career at Adobe or be it my fashion or travel blogging, the one thing that keeps me driving is the belief that if you think you can do something or if you think you cannot do something, either ways you're correct, right? So I'll do my level best so that, at the night time when I go to my bed, at least, I'm like kind of satisfied that, okay, I did my best. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't happen, at least I don't have the regret that I didn't try. So that's, I think, my stellar mindset. And the one thing that kind of motivates me to do things even better is definitely my mom, because I've seen her, in such difficult situations where, she used to take care of us, and she never used to give up. So that not giving up attitude, I think, has come from my mom.
Okay. My mom too, she's, as we always say, my mom's my biggest fan. I think she comments more on my everything than the public does, but it's been such a treat just to have her by my side, even though she's in Canada. Is your mom still in India?
Yeah, that's correct. She's in India, and I think she's my biggest critique because I wouldn't get to hear good words or appreciative words about me from her. But yeah, if I'm doing really well, she'll just say, but I think it's more of a critique side of comments that I get from her, which kind of gives me a true picture about what I'm doing or what phase in my life I need to improve on.
That's awesome. I love that. So let's talk about style. So you were talking earlier about your collaborations with the larger designers. Do you shop local? I know that there's amazing local Australian designers that sell in their independent boutiques there.
That's right, correct.
And
Yes.
do you have any that are your favorite or your go-tos?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? The good thing about, or I think the X factor that I see in styling is that you can kind of pair a $20 jeans with $1,000 couture t-shirt. So I think that's the mix and match that kind of drives me towards the fashion field. So I've actually done it. So in India, in Delhi, there is a street shop where, you get trousers or t-shirts for just, say, for example, $30 or $20 or even less. And I've kind of paired that with Zimmerman. And I went to the fashion shows like the Sydney Fashion Week, etc. And I've got a lot of comments. But I never said that it's only $20.
Of course not.
That's the fun, and that's the kind of exposure that you can give to others with mixing and matching different styles.
And with being 2020 and now going into 2021, how has your job at Adobe and also your job as an influencer changed during the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. It has really changed a lot when it comes to my professional thing, which is my the product management thing at Adobe. Touch wood, that hasn't really changed, because Adobe as a company, we are really doing well in even in terms of this difficult situation, because everything is getting digital, right? So, but yeah, the amount of work and the work pressure has definitely increased with everyone working from home. So your number of emails and your meetings increases. So that's one thing from the professional side. But as a part of my passion, influencer marketing, I think, has kind of been impacted a lot. The type of brands which I used to work on a regular basis have now kind of put a halt on their collaborations because of this difficult timings, and which is quite understandable, because they need to first make profit in order to kind of do the brand promotions. So yes, I think personally for me, I'm not sure about the others, but personally for me, the number of collaborations that I used to receive in the earlier 2020 versus the late 2020, I see a major decline in that.
Major decline. Well, let's hope that picks up for all of us. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I read that you are an avid reader of classic literature. Is that correct? And that you
not really.
Okay.
Not really. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will resource that. It says that you love discovering literature and your love for being for art.
Yeah, I really love art, but when it comes to reading, like the real-time reading, not too much into it. But yeah, if you ask me, exploring different places which has a heritage village or some art or yeah, so if you mean that, yes, definitely the culture. And yeah, so yes, definitely, because I think that especially if I see a 1,000-old-year painting on the wall, it speaks heaps about your civilization. And it talks about how things were at that point of time. And this kind of also reminds me to my recent travel to the Mungo National Park, which is towards the westernmost side of Australia, NSW. Yeah, so this side east is full of coastal areas, whereas the west is a different picture of Sydney, which is deserts and things like that. So when I went to the Mungo National Park there, it was all deserts, and we got to see things which are like 1 million years old. So yeah, I was quite impressed and got to learn a lot about the culture.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. What about your collaboration with tiny houses?
Oh yes, that's upcoming actually. So in March, and the timing is absolutely perfect, because on the 8th of March, which is the long weekend for us here, at least from the Adobe side, we get that long weekend as a Monday off for Adobe employees. So it's then that we are traveling to the tiny house, and it's a new concept actually, where you have like those small kind of cozy little houses which are spread on the large farmland. So yeah, so when I got to know about this concept, and I've never lived in a tiny house like a concept, so I said yes, let's do it.
I want to hear all about it, so I'll be definitely checking that out on your Instagram and on your website after the March 8th for sure.
Definitely.
So because I'd like to talk to you about a blog post that I read on your site. We champion other women. That is what we do here at Stellar Girl. It's a platform and a mission not to just empower women, but I want women to empower themselves. And you have a couple tips about, blogging and being an Instagrammer and being an influencer that I would love for you to share with our audience today, because I think it really, really resonates with what's happening in today's culture, because we should be championing each other. But you talk about, I will just bring up the first couple you mentioned about your followers who are genuine and who are motivating. And then you talk a little bit more about the influencers who stalk you but don't follow you, who comment and then go away. You can't block them. So tell us why that you decided to post about that, and how we can better champion each other.
Yes, definitely. I think it's a good as well as a bad world. Good in terms of the fact that you get to meet a lot of people, you get exposure to so many different things and connect to so many different people who you don't even know, but they really wish good for you. Whereas on the other side, it's a dark world where, yes, you kind of deal with negative comments, because there have been several instances where I have been personally attacked by people either commenting me on my pictures, which I kind of delete, but when people kind of personally message you and then they comment about things like, oh, you're a brown girl, and things, which is kind of, you don't even think from that angle. You're a brown girl. How come how come you think about creating your brand in Australia? So there, and then these comments are from accounts like XXX00Y, which so they don't have
hiding.
Exactly, they are hiding. But then, and initially it used to kind of affect me a lot. But then I thought that because these people don't have the guts to come and talk face to face, you shouldn't even care about them. So yeah, and that has just happened one or two times with me though. But sometimes. So I can live with it. But when people talk about my work, and when they hit or have a personal attack on my work, like say for example, I did a video review for the Dyson curly hair kind of the air wrap kind of a thing, and yes. One, and that was the first time launched in Australia, in Sydney, like I think three and a half years back. That was a sensation, the air wrap thing, and it was around $650 in Australia. And then I did a review about that, and one of the person commented on my YouTube saying, "Oh, Dyson should change their marketing strategy and work with someone who knows how to curl their hair." So it affected me, but then now I've kind of come in peace with these kind of things, like people who follow you, who copy your content, but but they will actually not physically follow you. So it's all fine. Yeah, I mean, people are copying you because you're doing your level best.
Of course. And with 100,000 followers, people are drawn to you and drawn to your website and drawn to everything that you have created in such a short period of time living in Australia. And you should be celebrated for being a brown woman in Australia and a beautiful Indian immigrant from Australia. I think that's absolutely spectacular. And so shame on them. So you're a Virgo, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So people who are Virgos, they like animals. Do you?
Oh, I love them.
Okay.
Yes.
Healthy food?
Yes.
Nature?
Really, yes. Yeah, I think it's like, you have been stalking me or something like that, because whatever you're saying, I actually love them. So yes, Teri, yes.
I'm not a stalker. I'm just doing homework and a little research.
Yes, of course.
So what about your obsession with cleanliness in the house in order?
Yes, I'm a big time cleanliness freak, but you can imagine the amount of time I get with a full-time job with blogging and cleanliness kind of thing. So I've kind of outsourced my cleanliness or my cleaning of the house to professional people here in Sydney, and then they come every 3 weeks and they kind of clean my house, and I just do the basic cleaning, and I live with it. So it's taken care of.
And one of the things that you dislike most, as your sign goes, is rudeness and asking for help. Do you find you ask? Is that true for you or not so true?
Like people asking me for help, or I asking people for help?
Yes. So you dislike rudeness, and you want to do something first before you ask for help.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah. So it's not that, I shy away from asking help, but it's just that, if you try something different and do it yourself first, you learn more. And it's only when, you are kind of stuck it's then when you ask help, you ask the exact questions of where your pain point is. So that's how you learn faster as well. So always try yourself. If you're stuck, it's only then that ask for help.
Then you ask for help.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Do you have time for self-care? We talk about, as you said, loving healthy food, taking care of yourself inside and out. Not only are you beautiful, your insides are beautiful because you take care of your health. So do you find time to have movement in your life, to have some self-care for yourself?
Yes, of course. Yes, and I think the me time or the self time is very important for anyone, be it a small baby girl at the age 3 or be it a woman at the age 55. So it's the self care is very important. So I always start my day with either a gym or a rich 45 minutes of strenuous vinyasa yoga, and that's my kick for the day. And then post that, I have a very healthy breakfast. I have 2 or 3 cheat meals in a week, but I kind of always try to sleep on time, wake up on time, drink lots of water, start my day with yoga or gym. So that's a part of my daily ritual. And honestly, at this age, after following these lifestyle things since a long time, I don't even consider them as a me time. I just consider them as brushing your teeth.
Yes. Well, you definitely lead a stellar lifestyle and a stellar girl lifestyle. And I am so thrilled to be able to spend these past 25 minutes with you. I am getting to know you, and I can't wait for all of our listeners at Stellar Girl and Speaking Stellar Girl to follow you, to learn about what's happening in Australia, to figure out and find all your little secret spots out there, like that spectacular, the Ratua Island that I'm going to definitely visit, and follow you on March 8th for a tiny house. And I really would love all of us in the United States and in North America who do tune into this channel to really get to know you and your followers and your love of Australia and Sydney especially. And they can find you at Sydneyfashionlife on Instagram and online.
Perfect. Yeah, that's right, Teri. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we will sign off with that. And you have a great, great day.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at stellargirl.com.